channel. I'm Andy O'Reilly. There's Dave Cackley. I'm sitting here shocked at life, and how slowly. Well, is it slowly or quickly that the downfall has onset? I
Downfall of what?
life. I'm.
I disagree. I mean,
Well, I.
things get kind of crazy and chaotic, but
Yeah.
they're always that way. I think that's I've settled down on some things because I realize whatever time you're living in always feels somewhat chaotic. We like to pretend right now is even more so. In some ways it is, but in some ways it isn't. And we kind of amplify a lot of bullshit. Uh, and I think we're fine. Oh, I'm sorry. I talked for more than 5 seconds and you
No,
lost.
I was philosopher Dave that came out there for a second. I forgot that everything's philosophy now.
What's
What I was going after was the fact that I was out till a little after 10 last night, and I'm kind
what
of
were you
wiped
doing?
out.
What were you doing that late at
That's
your
the
age?
thing. There's not really any of your depth of philosophy here. I was just out after 10. I was in a meeting about a site cleanup that needs to happen in Eggleston Township.
Mm-hmm.
I listened, I spoke, I learned, I heard a
Mm-hmm.
lot of BS from the departments that are supposed to clean these things up. Um, and, getting home after 10, for me feeling this way on a Friday, I mean, I look back to 3 weeks ago when I would have been out till 3, gotten up at
Mm-hmm.
3:30, and then came into work and been just fine. Now it's a little after 10. I get home and sit on the
Mm-hmm.
couch till 11, and I wake up at 7:30 going, "Oh my God, what was I thinking?" This was no philosophical moment. I
You know
appreciate
what?
you. I appreciate you turning it into one, as we've uncovered
Well,
this week. You're truly turning into your dad. Do you have a
well,
picture of your dad? Bring in a picture.
I don't. I should. I
You
will.
should.
Yeah, I'll try to do that. And I'm gonna say this because you do this thing where you like to pretend to be the man of depth
Well, I
and the
am. I'm
one who
depth.
really is. And
I've got some depth
I'm
here.
just the fluff. I'm the fluff. I'm the
You're the
whatever
fun
else.
guy.
And then
We like you to
I
be
throw
fun.
in I throw in some philosophy, try to get you thinking a little bit. And then I forget that again. You have the kindergarten attention span.
Well, no, you didn't
You know.
forget. You just you're constantly trying to um prove the depth over there,
No.
and it's just like just be fun.
No, do you know what part of it is? Because it was
Lead,
like just
follow.
before we went on air,
Yeah.
just before we went on air,
Yep.
you were like, "Yeah, I got nothing.
I
What are we
didn't.
going to talk about? I got nothing."
I had
And
nothing.
then so I thought, okay, he'll say something and I'll just kind of respond to it
Yeah.
however I'm going to respond. And
I
I
loved how
wasn't
you
thinking
responded.
I was going to. Yeah,
I loved it.
I
Don't give
wasn't
me. Am
thinking.
I complaining?
Yeah, you are. You're
No,
like
not at
you
all.
did the eye roll. You're
I
doing
did
all that
nothing of
stuff.
the
It's
sort.
okay.
I was intently
Oh no.
listening. I was just
Yeah.
looking at other things while I was
Mm-hmm.
listening.
Uh,
I'm not only am I more deep, I'm able to multitask. I can
right.
listen and look at things at the same time. So there's no offense here to
Squirrel.
you. No, nothing like that. No.
No, of course not.
No. But there's an old chemical plant that's got um some really big issues. And then they
Mm-hmm.
want to start um what they're looking for down the road is permission to drain the treated water back into a creek once it's above acceptable levels of or toxic
Um,
whatever.
chemical, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, no. Acceptable levels by whose standards?
Uh,
And
I don't
and then
know.
and then too, there gets to a point in one of these meetings where you're dealing with all these people who speak in acronyms
Oh yeah. Oh God, I hate that.
and I'm sitting there and I'm taping it. They asked Eggleston asked me to come down and tape it. I really had no
Mhm.
intention of speaking or saying anything. And finally, as the thing progressed, I looked at the people in the room, the presenters, and I said, "Look where you are." And they're like, "Huh?" I said, "Look right out the door. You're in a municipality building that says don't drink the water. Okay, this is the township hall, and they're not allowed to drink the groundwater that's coming out of here. They're exhausted. They're tired. This is ridiculous. you're up here giving them all these acronyms. You're going on and on about this, that, and the other thing, and 5-year test, 5-year test. This, I said, and then I said, I want you to look at their faces. Nobody here has a clue what you're talking about. Speak English. And so, it's like
they're not.
make this understandable for people. I mean, we're barely getting to the point where we understand PFAS, right? And then they're mentioning
or is
all
it
these
PFAS? Because
then they're mentioning all these other chemicals and all this other stuff. One lady asked, she goes, "What about these other chemicals? How are they dangerous to humans?"
Yeah.
Skip over that question. Skip over that question. Skip over that question. So I'm on my phone.
They or are they not? Yeah.
I Google it, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's a carcinogen."
Okay.
And I finally said to the group of people presenting, I said, the question was, how is that harmful to a human? Right here on my phone, it says carcinogen. Is that right? Yeah. How hard is that to
Why
answer?
didn't you say it?
I know, right?
Well, and I've got a brother-in-law who hates when I do this, but I'm going to do it anyway. The whole
You're going to be a philosopher again?
Well, no.
Oh, okay. All right.
It could be, and I'm just throwing this out.
Yeah.
It could be they didn't want to say carcinogen because people know what carcinogens are, and they didn't.
That.
They might that could be in what would be considered inflammatory, and they didn't want, because there are certain levels that are acceptable to consume, but up to a certain point, it can be harmful and can cause health issues. So there is, but what they don't do is they tell you, okay, it's at this level. We need to get it down to this level so it's not harmful to you. If it's at you can there's a certain amount of, because there's carcinogens in basically everything. There's a certain level that you can deal with,
and there's PFAS.
But if you just say carcinogen, exactly.
If you eat microwave popcorn,
so that's what they could have done. Yeah,
they could have, but
they don't know how to tamp down the temperature in the room. And what they will do, and I know because I've had to cover. I used to have to cover meetings like this. Over 25 years ago, when I first started, and you would do an eye roll, you didn't care. You're half asleep and you're going, this is bullshit word salad. Or in this very high level, because they will use, like you're saying, a lot of acronyms that nobody understands, and they will talk over people's heads instead of breaking it down and say, here, okay, this is where it's concerning. This is where it's not. We want to get it down to this level. It's going to take this amount of time.
Right.
But no, they want to blow V8 and do kind of what I'm doing right now. So I'll say.
Right. I even pulled an old I don't remember exactly the quote, but I pulled a quote out about it was like an ancient religion quote about how verbiage is impressive, and people are they're like, wow, all those words, and yeah, dude, back off. All right. Yeah, it's just and at the end of it, I said, you know what? Here's my card. We're gonna find one of you that's the best at plain English, and we're gonna sit down with a camera, and you're gonna explain all this, and people are gonna see. How come we didn't know about this meeting? Well, go to our website. Yeah, because everybody's out there going to the EPA website trying to find exactly. All right. Okay.
Oh, jeez.
So that was my Thursday night, and I was just a little tired, but thank you for your depth, your thoughtfulness, and your outlook on the world about how everything's crazy. You were 100% correct.
All right. Well, and then you illustrated the point with the meeting you went to yesterday. So there you go.
See? We're not far off.
It all ties in. And you came on 2 seconds before we go on. I got nothing, and you had something.
Look how amazing we are as a team.
Look at this. It's almost like we've been doing this for 20 years.
You would think a radio station would hire us.
I don't know. Do we want to do that? Come on. We don't want to go back to that bullshit.
No way.
I'll do it. I'll give them traffic reports.
There you go.
I'll do that. After that, I'm Seacrest out. Let's go.
Word.
All right, here we go. U.S. stock futures are stalling in early morning trading. The Dow closed up nearly 300 points on Thursday. Futures down slightly, though, 44 points or 0.1%. This comes after optimism that artificial intelligence will bolster corporate profits, lifting shares to new heights the past week as the Dow is now again above the 39,000 mark. Of course, long term. Will that be a good thing? The short term, it's good, especially
Yep.
if you're vested. But long term,
Yeah.
we'll
Tough.
see. A legendary actor, Donald Sutherland, has passed away. Sutherland's career spanned 6 decades, including films like MASH, Animal House, JFK, and The Hunger Games. Donald Sutherland was 88 years old, completely stole JFK. I mean, he was awesome.
Yep.
And he had one scene, and he was, I think, the best part of the movie. His interaction with Kevin Costner's Jim Garrison character was phenomenal. And he's so great that he makes it look effortless. The great ones in anything do, any profession, broadcasting, sports, journalism, whatever it
Yep.
is, the great ones make it look easy. And Donald
I will
Sutherland
say
was
this
one
of Donald Sutherland. As a kid, I was afraid.
Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Was that the one where the
That's
picture
not-
was like this?
Oh yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
that picture freaked me out as a kid.
Me
I
too.
I was afraid of him.
I was too.
So
Yeah.
okay, so I got that going with Donald Sutherland, and there's a few other actors and people of the spotlight that I kind of feel that
Mhm.
way about too. There's just something about them that I was a little afraid of.
Mhm.
Alan Alda. There was
Re-
something
Alan
about Alan
Alda?
Alda. I don't know what it is about Alan Alda, but it just I always got creeped out when he was on TV. I literally no explanation. I have no idea why, but I'm
Alan
just
Alda always
uncomfortable.
reminded me of my brother,
Did
Tom,
he?
my oldest brother, Tom.
Yeah.
There was something about they had the similar. Yeah, I liked it. I always liked
Nope.
Alan Alda.
Didn't like Alan Alda. Donald Sutherland kind of frightened me. Who else do I look back to when I was a kid that was
Ogre from Revenge of the Nerds.
no, he was awesome. Richard, who was the guy
Dreyfuss?
in the Thornbirds? Richard,
Oh, God, I don't see the.
wasn't he was
Thornbirds?
also John Boy.
Oh no, that's Richard Thomas.
Yeah,
Was it the mole? What?
Something
You
creeped
hate
me
the
out about
Waltons.
Richard Thomas.
The problem is you hate the Waltons and you hate John.
No,
Boy. Man,
Richard Thomas kind of gave me the creeps.
these are weird, creepy vibes you're getting from.
I can't explain it. They
I
creep me out.
I would love to sit in on a therapy session with you. I think it would be fascinating.
We
It
don't
would
talk
be.
about who creeped you out on TV when in the therapy session.
You should.
You should go to one.
Because I
once.
think
I think you got
I've been to 2 therapy sessions. I think it would be good for me to do it. I haven't. I haven't felt the need to. Not that it wouldn't
All right.
help. Like I'm not
Oh,
anti-therapy at all.
philosophical. Here we go.
But I know I'm not. I'm not anti-therapy at all. I just don't know.
All right.
I don't know that I necessarily need it, but who
Right.
knows? I think everybody probably does. Finally, drugstore chain Rite Aid plans to close at least a dozen stores in Michigan. U.S. bankruptcy court lists 27 stores that will be shutting down in Michigan and OHIO. Rite Aid currently operates 186 stores in Michigan and 143 in Ohio. We got plenty of drugstores. You got your Walgreens. You
They're
got
the
your
same
other
company.
knockoff Walgreens. Yeah.
Walgreens and Rite Aid are the same company.
Yeah.
Personally, I've heard that they're all going to
CVS.
close. And here's the thing too, and I'm going to tell you this is not only a customer of the store, but as a sponsor of ours. Go to your local pharmacy. Go to the pharmacy that's independent in your town.
Mhm.
And all that, because you know what, everybody
Yes.
wants to scream and holler shop local. Let me tell you one
Do
spot
it.
where you can shop
Do it.
local and really make a big dent into local economy. Get your prescriptions from a local pharmacy. I go to Benson's here in Muskegon.
Mhm.
Think of the money that gets spent on prescriptions over the course of a year,
Mhm.
and send that to a local business. Don't send it
And
down
the service is better.
way better.
The service is better.
Way better.
And my mom does that with her prescriptions. You know, she goes to the local. She goes to the local Middleville
Go to the
pharmacy.
local
So
place.
that's just it's great.
It's great.
That's absolutely well
Yep.
said. Sports: Tigers are off. Cubs are off. Tigers will take on the Chi Sox tonight. 6:40. Mets Cubs 2:20. That's sports.
All right, here comes
Oh,
your
Stanley
Jeopardy.
Cup.
Oh,
Stanley Cup Finals Game 6 tonight. Edmonton, Florida. 3-2. Can Edmonton tie it up? We'll see.
There's that for being late on Stanley Cup.
Hey, I got to it. I wasn't.
Who's not thinking
forgetting.
Stanley Cup on June 21st?
It's summertime. All eyes turn to hockey.
This is a freebie. This is another gimme.
Okay.
This is a Friday feel good for Dave. Ooh, he's going to shimmy and shake. Are you ready? 1,200 supporting actors. This comedian won a Best Supporting Actor Oscar as a therapist to Will Hunting, who says, "I don't need therapy."
I don't need therapy. It's not your fault, Andy.
No,
it's not your fault.
It's
not your fault.
Whose fault?
So said Robin Williams.
Give the man 1,200 to the
Robin
good.
Williams.
You, sir, are going to be eating ketchup with your mac and cheese this weekend. What is this, Kung
Gross.
Fu fighting?
No,
What are you doing with your hands?
Everyone was, but I'm currently not.
What were you doing with your hands?
But everyone was. I was kind of doing a weird Vogue,
old
school
it was maybe
Madonna
Tai
thing.
Chi or Kung Fu fighting or something like that.
No.
Okay. Well, take your collected, well thought, extremely philosophical. Yep. And
Boom.
have yourself a great weekend.
See ya.
Happy Friday, Muskegon. We've got some rain in the forecast for this weekend, so let's take a look at it, brought to you by Trinity Health. We are no longer under that heat advisory that was initially supposed to last until later this evening. We do still have a hazardous weather outlook, though, with those higher heat indices still expected, but should not be as impactful. It still will be very warm, though, over the next few days, and we will see that it will be very warm and moist, along with some storms possible this weekend, which we'll take a closer look at soon. And after this weekend, we do look drier and a little bit cooler Sunday, and then we do seem to warm right back up as we move into midweek next week. For your Friday, we'll have a little bit of patchy fog in the morning, but we should clear up to have mostly sunny skies with a 30% chance of seeing some isolated showers throughout the day. Our high will be right around 85 degrees with some light winds out of the west, around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight will cool down to around 69 degrees with now a 40% chance of seeing some scattered thunderstorms overnight and just very calm winds from the west around 2 to 5 miles per hour. With these winds out of the west today, our high temperatures across the county vary quite significantly. In Ravenna, we'll have a high right around 90 degrees today, but closer to the lakeshore and a little further north in Whitehall and Montague, we are in the lower 80s, and right along the lakeshore, we are in those mid to lower 70s. We will be a little bit warmer tomorrow with high around 88 degrees, but we'll have a 50% chance of seeing some rain showers during the day. Again, those are likely to be very isolated, but otherwise will be very cloudy. We do have a 90% chance of seeing some rain showers overnight for Saturday, but we do clear right back up for Sunday and Monday, and we are a little bit cooler as well with Sunday a high right around 80 degrees and Monday 82. Now Tuesday we have another 30% chance of some rain showers and a 40% chance on Tuesday night with a high right around 85, so a bit warmer, but then we cool back down again into those lower 80s and higher 70s for Wednesday and Thursday, accompanied with lots of sunshine. That's all for your Friday forecast, brought to you by Trinity Health for the Muskegon Channel. I'm Tegan Schultz, and I hope you have a great day.